Shalom. We'll start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles who are our elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. This is Rahab Amar from the Nebraska camp. And just wanted to go into, just land backing off of a lesson that the elder Yashawamba did. Beautiful lesson, by the way. Forget the title because I was just on a plantation and I just had the headphones in. But more than likely it was his last lesson. And I think it was like an hour and some change. Well, I can't say his last lesson, be pumping him out. But y'all, you'll find it. But getting back to it, man. Man, I was just going over, researching, the CO2 trees. Okay. And I just wanted to bring out, a precept or two, and a couple points here and there as well. Okay, so precept that we're gonna go to is pursuant to Sirach, the 16th chapter. Okay, because this the thing is that people don't realize, they don't have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This world has lost its, when I say this world, I'm talking about our people, mainly 2/3. They have lost the true faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Most of these people are Christians, and they trust in science, in aversion to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which requires faith. To lean on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is really ultimately to go against modern day science, because theirs is all about testing and theories, and serving the Lord is all about faith and works. Okay. So we're going to start in Sirach 16:24. It says, my son, hearken unto me and learn knowledge. Right? Hearken unto who? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and not man. Doesn't mean that if man gets something, because everything is given by inspiration of the Lord. But there's a foundation and a direction. All right? And Esau goes against that. So everything that comes from a man is not of the Most High. All right? But the Most High allows everything that's done by man. All right? Because he rules everything. It says, my son, hearken unto me and learn knowledge, and mark my words with thy heart. All right, and your heart is your mind. All right, when you mark those words, you don't take them lightly. All right, because y'all like Christians. I ain't gonna do all that, but there's a statement by Christians and Christianity: I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Well, keep the commandments then. Okay, why it always got to be in relationship to wickedness? All right, but let's continue. It says, I will show forth my doctrine and wait, and declare his knowledge exactly. The works of the Lord are done in judgment, all right, and from the beginning, and from the time he made them, he disposed the parts thereof, all right. He garnished his works forever, and in his hand are the chief of them unto all generations. They neither labor, nor are weary, nor cease from their works. Just like precipitation, okay, just like summer, winter, spring, fall, all right, they don't cease from their works, all right. And this is the part that Esau, through his science and these CO2 trees, they're trying to convince you that the world is out of its homeostasis in a natural way. This world is responding just like your body responds. If your body's in a perfect homeostasis, you won't sneeze, you won't get headaches, you won't, what I'm saying? When your body do that, it's trying to tell you that something is off. Okay? So when the world does certain things, what I'm saying, that's out of its norm, okay, like not raining, droughts, which is in a way is a balance, but the world will heal itself. All right, the world has always healed itself. Okay, just like our bodies, the world will heal itself, but our bodies aren't like the world, because the world abideth, the earth abideth forever, thus saith the Lord. So again, you trusting in science over faith, you will believe that global warming, no, the earth abideth forever, right? But at the same time, you got to wonder, why is everything out of whack? All of a sudden, the thing that's been consistent throughout technology, all of a sudden technology is more important than the people. People have always been here. You don't know how many people populated the world. Truly, when you read the scriptures and you read history, you hear about the armies that they had. You know what I'm saying? And these people were existing and living and doing things. All right. But one thing that wasn't always here was semi trucks, okay, tugboats, diesel boats, okay, nuclear missiles, all right, airplanes, okay, amongst many other things that they're doing. CERN, you know, their HARP system, oil drilling. There's a lot of things that didn't exist. All right, so it's a decent thing to use the proper common denominator or the least common denominator, and get rid of it. All right, so the most common denominator of this global warming, the thing that's most consistent, really, or the newest thing. You get rid of the newest thing, okay? Which is this damn technology. Stop making cars, okay? Stop polluting the water, okay? Stop eating crabs and shrimp, okay? But all things that all this direction and lesson and foundation of culture is all in the scriptures, tell you what not to do. But as a foundation, these heathen, specifically Esau, does not abide by the scriptures nor respect them nor reverence them, which is to respect, same thing. So I read 27 again. It says, he garnished his works forever, and in his hand are the chief of them unto all generations. They neither labor nor are weary, nor cease from their works. None of them hindereth another, and they shall never disobey his words. The trees shall not. Trees don't grow to the point it affects the climate. Because and this is the fork tongue. Because at one point they was talking about paper or plastic and saying, hey, we need to plant trees, plant trees, plant trees. Now all of a sudden it's not trees, but the same people say you need to plant trees are the same people that's saying we need to cut the trees. And then within that video, which I ain't gonna get, you can watch his lesson, but I just vaguely quote. He said, y'all talking about planting trees like that, that's gonna solve global warming. Come on, man. Use some sense here. Don't be it's pretty much saying that if you're not a scientist, you're an idiot. Because he said, don't be an idiot. We're scientists here. Like, that solidifies what the hell you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, hell no, because you said plant trees. So now all of a sudden, because you were a scientist then, and now you're a scientist now, meaning that y'all jokers be wrong, man. All right? And then try to use the fact that you're a scientist to show me that it works. You know what I'm saying? But that's not natural. That's not a homeostasis. The world has never needed a robot tree. Okay? And it's not about population. All right? Because I truly believe that there was more people populating the world then, because people are having problems with conception to this day, man. Okay? Through birth control and abortions and things like that, scarring up your ovaries. Okay? Different foods, blood clots. People are dying at younger ages. So the common sense doesn't connect to the world being overpopulated. Now people are being pushed and condensed into one area. All right? If the world is so overpopulated, why you got to cut down trees? People should be in the way of the damn trees. Because that happens all the time. People get more people, then they move in and encroach on land. Just like India, Thailand, tigers running all through their neighborhood and shit because the cities are getting large, right? But if the cities are getting large, it means you're cutting down trees, meaning it shouldn't be a problem. It doesn't make sense, So it raises the antennas of me calling bullshit, bullshit. Y'all get it later. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Y'all get it later. All right, so I'm gonna read the article last, but I want to give a reference. Matter of fact, I'll read the article. Within the article, there's an article, and I'll put it in post production. And it's in BBC News. It says sucking CO2 from the skies with artificial trees. Scientists are looking at ways to lower the global temperature by removing greenhouse gases from the air. So now it's greenhouse gases. Cow farts, greenhouse gases could support absorbent fake leaves be the answer. It may be colorless, odorless, and completely natural gas, but carbon dioxide is the beginning to cause us a lot of problems. It only makes up of a tiny fraction of the atmosphere, 0.04% of all the gas by volume, or 395 parts per million, but it has a huge effect on the Earth's temperature. That's because, unlike nitrogen or oxygen, carbon dioxide molecules absorb the sun's heat rays, even though they let light rays pass through like a greenhouse. So I'm just unless I'm tripping, unless I'm reading it wrong, it's sitting here saying that carbon monoxide or CO2 absorbs heat. Okay, so scientists are looking at ways to modulate the global temperature by removing some of the greenhouse gas from the air. If it worked, it would be one of the few ways of geoengineering the planet with multiple benefits beyond simply cooling the atmosphere. You see, and in the scriptures we just read, the scriptures tell you within Sirach that none of them hinder another. Okay, so the trees and carbon monoxide is not going to hinder the oxygen and the heat. They all work together. All right, they all work. Everything, male, female, water, air, heat, water. You know what I'm saying? Dry, wet. You know what I'm saying? Everything works together. And the Lord made everything in wise judgment. So they think they're smarter than the Most High and that He ain't make trees right now. But y'all sit here and believe in this guy and then go turn around and pray to the Lord. I'm talking to you guys that go to church and you Christians. You scientists are just bugged the hell out, man. All right? So these guys are planning on cutting trees down and putting up these fake CO2 trees to absorb CO2. Man, fuck around and have a blizzard, man. Cold forever. They're talking about shooting the sun. You act like you got 18 suns in your back pocket or something, But the point is that they want to use fake trees because they're trying to say indirectly that the Lord's divine order isn't enough. Okay, it don't work. Coming from a person that got people on Ozempic and getting BBLs, he knows what's better for the atmosphere. But you the one that got the atmosphere in this condition and don't got the dignity to admit it. But then want to tell the Lord he messing up. He got the nerve. Okay, and like to end it off, it reminds me of this movie. It's called the Lorax. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those animated movies, man. And if you look it up, the Lorax, it says made him a promise not to cut down any more trees. The once Lur harvested the truffula troughs in a sustainable manner until his unscrupulous relatives arrived to help him with his business and convince him to resume cutting down trees, which led to a large profit, but also deforestation and population. So it's interesting because predictive programming, man. This movie, it's an IMAX movie, and this movie, I might title this "Lesson Edom the Lorax," or this whatever you call them, the scrupulous, whatever the. But the point is that these people were chopping out all the trees to the point they had no more trees, and for the city that they built, and I don't think there was no more trees, but it wasn't enough trees to sustain human life. And so they had to buy oxygen. You see what I'm saying? Because they're trying to water it down. Oh, it's probably 0.04%, but it has enough power to dictate the weather. I don't give a fuck if it's 1 nanogram of a whatever. If you move that nanogram and it turns it from 40 degrees to 100, man, it's important. Okay? Go play with your mama, man. Stop playing with the climate, man. Okay? But the thing is that Esau is is acting as the people. See here, I think it's the Lorax or whatever they call it, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's a really interesting movie, man. Through the spirit. When I was watching, I'm like, man, that's Edom all day, man. You know. But yeah, man. Hopefully, this is edifying. I'm on plantation, so I have to make it quick. So with that being said, and give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash, double honor to our apostles who are elders of Ruel. Blessings, salutations, and to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. Sincere Habatham, Supreme. Shalom.